When you think of a festival, it's probably Glastonbury that springs to mind, but we'd like to introduce you to the biggest event of the year in the metal detecting calendar.
Now, you might not find headliners such as David Bowie here, but you could find a gold hoard, a Celtic stater, or maybe a Roman denarii.
One thing that we can absolutely guarantee you will find though is a community unlike any other. Hundreds of detectorists gathered in a field for one weekend with a marquee, a bar, the highly anticipated raffle and over 1,000 acres of land to search. Welcome to Detectival.
Hi, it's Lucy and Ellie from Roman Found.
And we're here at Detectival, so let's see what the weekend's going to turn up for us.
Hertfordshire is taking the main stage this year. This historic county is home to one of the largest Roman cities in Britain by area, the most direct transport links with London, and has been the country retreat of monarchs for centuries.
So historically, this county has been one of great importance, naturally due to its close proximity to London. In 1563, it even found itself the seat of Parliament, seeking a safer place to wait out the Great Plague. There's major Roman roads, Tudor manors, Domesday villages, and the world's very first garden city.
This is of course Letchworth, a city created to combine the very best of urban living with the tranquility of the countryside. You can find the UK's very first traffic roundabout here, the rare black squirrel, and for one weekend in September, Detectival.
The big bonus for us this year is that Detectival is under a 2-hour drive. The site opens for campers at 2 p.m, so there's no need for a crack of the dawn start, and we all know that Roman Found are not early risers.
Taking the plunge and investing into our Berghaus Tent Palace is still the best decision we've ever made.
If you've been with us for a long time, then you may remember our previous orange pop-up torture chamber. The thing we've found with pop-up tents is that they are only really designed for half the amount of people they claim to be. You need a ninja to get them back in the bag, and inside represents no more than a slightly roomy coffin. And speaking of coffins, do we really think Nath is going to fit this double airbed inside his? Because believe it or not, that will be home for 2 this weekend.
With base camp more or less set up, we head for registration. Friday fever is already taking hold in the main arena. There's a whopping 1,000 acres plus of land open tomorrow, over 100 more than you'll find at Glastonbury, and there's one question on everybody's mind: which field?
The exact location for Detectival each year gets released the Wednesday prior to the event. Since then, we can guarantee that every old map has been scoured, each field scrutinised, every lump and bump on Lee.dot examined, and all historical records for a 10-mile radius investigated. Some people here will have spent hours debating where to go, hedging their bets on which field will give them the very best chances tomorrow. Friday night will be full of close-lipped conversations, whispered secrets, and occasionally the drunken brag of a field full of Celtic field systems and Roman settlements.
But it's not all about the finds, is it? Of course we've done our research and will gladly take part in the Friday night fun and games of field gossip. But this is also one of the few times in the year that our international hobby all gathers together.
So let's head to the bar, have a few too many beers, put some faces to the Instagram handles and catch up with all the friendly and maybe some new faces.
We're going to be on the Roman Fame page. We're famous.
Got a pepperoni pizza on the go.
At Detectival, I'm drinking beer.
Saturday morning. Some of us sensibly had an early night, rising fresh for the fields. Others might have forgotten where the tent was on the walk back home from the bar last night. Something they are certain had nothing to do with the dancing in the sambuca shops.
But we know exactly where we are headed, so let us let you in on the Roman Found Digging Squad top secret field research. And from the gossip last night, it appears that most people will be taking the long hike up to the 20s fields, heading straight for the known Roman road, aka the A507. And we can't deny that this is a pretty good idea. But we've heard about something else, hiding in fields 12, 13, 14 and 15, a medieval deer park.
There used to be over 3,000 deer parks in England, Scotland and Wales, appearing in practically every county. Built by the aristocracy, they were a sign of great status and a key feature of noble entertainment.
Most parks were constructed between 1200 to 1350 AD and remained a key part of the British landscape, often containing a mixture of woodland, pasture, fish ponds, rabbit warrens and hunting lodges. Today very few remain, as over time they found themselves converted into land for agriculture, fields taking place in a land that could have once entertained royalty, so surely a long-lost deer park is the perfect place to uncover some history.
First signal at Detectival. Little 8. Sounds really good actually. Good. Let's see what it is. So first find.
First
Looks like
find?
a button.
A little button, look.
Still got the shank. Anything on it?
Still got the shine, not too much on it, no. First find is Detectival.
Woohoo! Not a bad start. Ground is tough as though.
Tough as.
Wow. Let's keep going.
So we've been in here, what, Shawnee? 20 minutes?
20 minutes.
And what have you had?
Had a Roman coin,
And earlier you had?
a hammered.
A hammered. Shawnee's on fire today. Absolutely on fire.
One to watch.
One to watch. Look at that. It's a beautiful Roman, that. Absolutely lovely. Good on you, Shawnee. You got to keep swinging.
Next signal does sound really good, so let's see what it is.
Could this be our first glimpse into hunting society?
What's in there?
Ooh, is it a buckle?
Is it a buckle? Oh, it's hard.
Need to crack it open.
I'm just trying not to break it. Look at that.
Is it half a buckle or something?
It's part of something, look. That's nice, that. That's lovely. Lovely patina as well, look.
Yeah.
This is a Jacobean shoe buckle fragment. Now, a buckle is rather commonplace today and something you likely don't think twice about, but back in the day they were regarded as a highly fashionable piece of jewellery, and buckles like this one were even made to be easily transferred from shoe to shoe, or traded in for a more fashionable design. They originally became very fashionable amongst the wealthy, and during this period hunting was the most popular pastime for the upper classes. The hunt was used to both forge friendships, build networks and settle disputes. The royal hunt had also become a popular sport, and here in Hertfordshire we are on the doorstep of the royals. If you were hunting with the king, you would certainly want to be wearing your finest buckle. If you're enjoying this video, then be sure to like and subscribe and support our channel.
Little 8, 9, good signal. Okay, what have we got in here, Ellie?
Look at that.
Ooh.
That's looking like a Roman, I think. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere.
On the Roman.
Now we're getting somewhere.
First Roman for us.
Oh, I think it's got some detail on it.
Has it?
Oh, yeah. Get it cleaned up. I think there's definitely some detail on there.
Get that spritz out.
Mm.
So what is a Roman doing here?
Well, we came to this field for the medieval deer park, but we really aren't that far from Baldock, one of the 4 towns of North Hertfordshire that's even claimed to be one of the first towns of Britain. But most importantly, Baldock finds itself as a natural bottleneck, a convergence between 2 Roman roads from the major settlements of Colchester and Verulamium into a single road that joins Ermine Street, one of the most important Roman roads in Britain that is still used today. And did we also mention that the Icknield Way, probably the oldest trackway in Britain, also passes through this humble town? A confluence of so many important routes is no surprise to learn that Baldock is a known Roman settlement, even possessing a Roman temple site.
Woo!
First
At
coin.
last. First coin, and she's a Roman.
First
Look at
coin of the
that.
morning.
First coin of the morning. Finally getting somewhere, look at that. Hard going
Yeah.
here.
Much of this landscape that we find ourselves in surrounding Baldock would have been intensively farmed throughout the Roman period, with many small farmsteads emerging on the hilltops, so could this coin have been dropped by a Roman farmer well over 1,000 years ago?
A nice little 9, 10 here.
We've got a nice low number and a little clod. Question is
What is it?
it a coin or not? That's the question.
Getting closer.
Getting closer.
Oh,
Oh, there's a little bit of green, look. What do we think that is?
is it a Roman?
Is it a Roman? That
Is
is.
it?
That's looking very. Yes, it's a minim. It's a
Oh,
minim.
yeah, little Roman.
Roman number 2. Look at that.
Woohoo!
Sweet little guy. It's a teeny one.
So there's definitely stuff in here.
Definitely stuff in here. That's 2 Romans now. 2 Romans. In what? 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we?
We're trying to get to field 1, but getting there slowly.
Getting there very slowly.
Roman number 2.
With 2 Romans in the tin, our stubbornness has paid off, and it's certainly time for lunch. And we just so happened to bump into mudlarking queen and legend Nicola White on the trek back. Maybe we should arrange a mudlark soon.
Over lunch, we've heard some good things about Field 1. Talks of Hammeds, medieval artefacts, and maybe an ancient footpath. So we thought it was only right to check it out.
Craziest signal I've had so far.
Bit of green.
There's a little bit of green looking at us out here. What signal was this, Lucy?
It's like 30s.
30s.
Very jumpy.
That's got it. It's very round.
Maybe Georgian.
Maybe Georgian. Give it a look, clean up.
It's
shall we see
looking
what
like
we've
a
got?
coin though.
Yeah, looking like a coin. Coin number 3 of the day.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Thick one as well. It's definitely a bust on this side there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that.
It's probably a Georgian.
Yeah, something Georgian. Well,
Georgian, I imagine. Probably a farthing or something.
we've not been in here that long, so that's a good sign
coin
that there's
is a lovely
more
sign.
things in here.
People be missing stuff. Coins.
Green. Sleepy puppy.
The king on this coin refused to attend his father's funeral.
George I might have left behind a secure throne for his son, but as far as George II was concerned, that was about it for his father's legacy. Maybe their problems stemmed from his parents' unhappy marriage that saw adultery on both sides, leading to his mother being confined and isolated in Oldham House for the rest of her life. Maybe it was from the fact that George II was more popular in England than his father, who was seen by some as being too German. Or it could have been their opposing stances within the royal court. Either way, one of George's first acts as king was to refuse to attend his father's funeral in Germany, an action that actually won him high praise in England as it showed his loyalty to Britain.
So Timmy's got something really special to show us, haven't you, Timmy?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're going to tell us how you found it. Look at that.
Found in field 16.
Absolute beauty.
That's a bit of Roman silver, Republican.
How long have you been out to find that, Timmy?
A long time.
Yeah. That's what it is. Perseverance
And
pays
you
off.
find something, you find yourself on your own, you're like, look a few mates, but they're all gone. But yeah, no,
That
it's
is
pretty exciting.
That might be the find of Detectival that I've seen.
Timmy has gone and found a Roman coin made not only before they set foot here in England, but from before the Roman Empire even existed.
Introduced in 211 BC, the Roman Republic denarius was minted at a time where Rome had only just started reaching outside of Italy, in territorial conquest known as the Punic Wars. It would be almost another 2 centuries before the rise of the Roman Empire. And Republic denarii likely found their way to Britain through early trade and diplomacy, or in the early years of the Roman conquest. Arguably, the denarius is the most famous Roman coin, being the silver standard for over 4 centuries, and it went on to have an even bigger impact on the world after the fall of the Roman Empire, becoming a unit of account that was used for millennia and even inspired our very own penny.
13, 14, a little bit jumpy.
Okay, so we've dug, how many small signals have we dug in this field now? About
A
10,
lot, yeah.
20. More than a dozen, that's for sure. And it's starting to pay off. That's a button. Let's hope the next one's going to be a hammered. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Woo.
I'm going to go on a power hour.
Power hour time.
Power hour time.
Some 20s here. See what that is.
So Ellie's been chiselling this hole.
The ground is so hard, it's actually concrete. And we think that a little crochet belt is emerging.
I wonder if it is complete.
I wonder if it's, what if it's, what, do you think it's going to be a ringer?
Oh, that's the main question.
There we go, that's got her.
You got it?
That's got her. You ready? Moment of truth.
Oh,
Oh!
yeah.
What a lovely little guy.
Or is it missing a bit?
Oh, it's been a bit crushed, like it must have been hit by the plough.
Oh yeah, it's complete though.
It's complete. And it's got the hole and everything. Oh, we don't often find character bells. I'm well happy with that. Look at him.
It may ring.
It might ring. I'll do a bit of cleaning first, I think.
Yeah.
A beauty.
Yep.
Be nice if it has a maker's mark.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got a drilled hole, so it's got good age to it. Can't see any obvious maker's mark. They're normally they're on the base.
Yeah, he's a little bit crushed.
A little bit crushed. But what a charming little find.
Oh, wonderful. You happy, Ellie?
Very happy.
The jingle from this bell would have served as a warning.
Now, bells have been ringing for millennia, and for a number of different reasons, from ritual and religious to musical and decorative to signalling and warning. And this particular type of bell is known as a crotal bell, a type that emerged here in England around the 13th century. Being identified by its drilled suspension loop and the fact it's been cast all in one piece, a revolutionary manufacturing technique that is still used to make bells today, this particular bell dates from the 16th to 17th century. It would have likely been found either attached to a horse-drawn vehicle or around the neck of cattle, both instances used to warn either fellow road-goers of your approach or to alert the farmer his herd has started to go missing.
Oh, fuck's sake.
What is it?
Oh, sure.
Trade in medieval England was pretty complicated.
1213.
Wherever it is, it's down here. Ooh, what's that?
Oh,
look.
yeah, bag seal.
It's a bag seal.
Cool.
Look at
Anything
that.
on it? Oh, yeah.
It's got a design on it. How cool is that?
It's like
We
a...
never find these. It's a W, isn't it?
Yeah.
A beauty.
Measurement systems were vague, often based on body parts such as a foot or certain actions such as paces, meaning there weren't really many standards. No one was going around telling you exactly how much a foot really was. So when it came to products and goods such as cloth, this left a bit of a grey area in the law. If you were selling someone a foot of cloth, your foot could be different to the foot in the next town and so forth. This is where this artefact comes in. It's a lead cloth seal, an item used widely between the 13th and 19th centuries to control and manage the quality of cloth being sold, and to ensure that it conformed to the regulations such as those set out in the Magna Carta and enforced by the alnager, the official inspector.
Yeah, it's starting to fill up.
Nice
Let's
little
find some
artifacts.
more.
This seal dates from 1500 to 1700 AD and is a personal type that would have been used by an individual cloth maker. The ornate insignia known as a privy mark incorporates a missing letter, an A and a B, initials that could refer to the dyeing process, the maker, or even the number of washes the cloth went through.
9, 10. Some hallmarks on there.
Hallmarks. Always pleased.
Is that silver then?
It might be like silver plated.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't look silver anymore.
No. Not
Interesting
bad.
find.
Bits and bobs up here.
Bits and bobs.
We won't lie, the conditions have been tough today. The weather hasn't been kind to the ground, baking it into a concretion that requires whittling and chiselling. But sipping a well-earned beer from the bar, spirits are high in the arena. News has just come through from one of the furthest fields, a last-minute discovery that's got everyone talking, a gold guinea hoard, the find of a lifetime. If you received our newsletter all about what to expect from this year's Detectival, then you will know that the chances of either of us cooking this weekend are less than 1%. Why would we when we're surrounded by all of these food vans?
Last night we went Greek, much to Ellie's utter devastation. There was no Mexican van this year, her firm favourite vendor from all previous Detectivals. But thankfully, Greek is also up there as one of her favourite cuisines. Tonight though, it's hog roast, that's caught our eye.
Mostly I've eaten coconut macaroons, flapjacks, a gyros and...
I saw the state there.
Oh,
Have you just seen the hoard of that?
Wonderful pizza.
Spicy sausage, jalapeno, red onion. Lush.
Aaron's a lucky man. He's only managed to bag himself one of the most sought-after food items of Detectival, a stone-baked pizza. There's currently over an hour's wait on one of these. Sunday morning. The rain started around 3 AM with a torrential downpour that had us fearing for our lives in the tent. A quick scan of the weather apps reveals we will likely be running from downpours and the odd thunderstorm all day, but we must admit that we have a bit of a secret to tell you all first.
Day 2 at Detectival.
Yeah, good morning everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Exciting news.
We've upgraded the machine for today.
I think it's about time we've invested into the Manticore. Woo! Woohoo, look at that!
So I don't know if it's going to be a bit of a learning curve for me today to use it, but we thought we'd just get stuck in.
Get stuck in, Manticore, new machine, bit of rain, new fields.
How it compares to yesterday, which was with the Knox 800.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And we found good bits yesterday. Yeah, really good bits.
So I'm interested to see the difference in finds today.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
The Manticore claims to be the most powerful, fastest and precise metal detector in minelab's history, apparently even offering 50% extra firepower to the Equinox, so let's see what she can do.
So 25.
These volume blocks.
So I don't know if it was like sounded too high pitched, but it was like on the line. So.
Oh yeah.
So what have we got, Ellie?
I think it might be our first find with a Manticore.
It's our first proper Manticore find.
That's got to be a Roman. Come
little
on.
Roman. Oh my god.
That's a Roman. How fitting that our first find with the Manticore's a Roman.
Let's
All
get
the
a
way.
closer look. Woohoo! First little Roman.
It's a nice one actually.
Some details.
A little bit of details. I think it might be a radiate. We can just make out a little bust on there. Day 2, first Roman.
With the Manticore.
With the Manticore. Very happy about that. Look at that.
It's only fitting that our very first outing with the Manticore brings us a Roman coin. And not just any Roman coin, but one that's emerged from a time of crisis.
Identified by a spiky crown, this is a barbarous radiate dating to the 3rd century, a period which is arguably one of the worst in the history of the Roman Empire. Its northern borders were increasingly raided by Germanic tribes, and the Persians were pretty relentless too. By the middle of the 3rd century, they defeated the armies of 3 Roman emperors, although this wasn't actually too difficult a feat, as this period saw 50 Roman emperors proclaimed across the empire in just as many years, with many only lasting mere months on the throne. Becoming emperor was no longer the grand achievement it once was, instead it had become a death sentence. And whilst outsiders were trying to tear Rome apart from the outside, civil wars and economic decline were warring on the inside. Currency had been devalued so much that the silver coins contained as little as 3% silver. Inflation reached a hyper state, but communities still needed to function, so they took matters into their own hands and minted the coins they needed to survive. These are the barbarous radiates, the cogs that kept the local economy turning in these turbulent times.
I met a guy yesterday who's like really hurt his ankle from hitting the rock.
Yeah. It was like lumpy.
Yeah, he barely walked. Ring pull.
Ring pull.
A ring pull. For a minute that was definitely a hammer.
I know, look at the shape of it. It's hilarious.
What you had, Aaron?
Well, I've just had a lovely signal for you Equinox users, a sweet 12, very, very nice signal. Just had an English Jetton.
Oh yes, absolutely wonderful.
And as soon as I saw the reverse, I knew it was an Edward II. And if you turn it over, so with the orientation right, there's his little neck, there's the hair. Yeah, and yeah, I'm very, very happy with that. For me, there's just as good as hammered.
Oh, better than a hammered.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Absolutely.
What a cracking find, Aaron.
$27. Looks like we've got a little button, perhaps?
Yeah, I'd say a button, look. Front of a button.
Oh yeah.
No design. Oh, it's quite nice.
Yeah, let's keep looking.
Keep going.
With dark clouds starting to brew above, we take this opportunity for a quick lunch stop and a chance to take the tent down. The last thing we want to do is take home a soggy tent.
Look at the bloody size of that.
I got Kinder Bueno, but then I got the Scoffy.
Walking towards the lightning.
Then it's straight back to field 1, where we discovered our crotal bell and cloth seal. With an ancient footpath cutting across it, there must be some more coins lurking.
$45, $44. Let's have a look.
What do we think we've got, Ellie?
There's a little something in there, look. Do you think that's an artefact?
Yeah, might be.
Is it just a lump?
Or is it a lump? A lump of something?
She's just a lump.
Oh
A
well.
lump!
First sort of like very high tone, like 90. Bit of stubble getting on me. There we go. So I think we need to see what that is.
So we haven't had one of these on our show before, have we?
No.
What number was it?
It was like high 80s, 90s.
And I think down here, it's a big penny.
Woohoo!
Woohoo, look at that! Coin!
Not bad.
Not bad indeed.
Hiding under the dirt on this halfpenny is the last British monarch to lead his troops into battle.
This was George II, and it was at the ripe old age of 60 that he led his soldiers into the Battle of Detectival in 1743. George came to the throne as the second Hanoverian King of England, militaristically minded and keen to advance Britain's international powers, even if that meant declaring war on France. The first 12 years of his reign were pretty peaceful, although this was largely thanks to the Prime Minister, Sir Robert Walpole. By 1739, Walpole's influence was deteriorating, and Britain was facing several escalating conflicts with her neighbours. George's successful campaigns, however, laid down the foundations for the British Empire, saw the beginnings of the Industrial Revolution and the country prosper. He was well respected as a king, and Britain was becoming a world power. Detectival really is the biggest weekend of the year for the metal detectorist. In between the camping, the digging, the socialising, we're certainly going to be feeling it on Monday. Those Detectival blues, aching feet, and maybe a sore head.
But as always, it's all been worth it. We've had such a great weekend and we can't wait for next year already.
If you'd like to come on another adventure with us, then check out this video.
Thanks for watching.